What is up, pimps, players, holes and tricks? It is Rob.
I'm Eamon.
And this is Monster Fuzz coming live to you from Wexford. What's up, Eamon? How you getting on?
Very little now. Very little. I had a can of something called the third dimension 3D. It was cotton candy flavour.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Full of caffeine. And polypops. What are the fake sugar that's not saccharin or aspartame?
Phenylalanine? No, that's one of them. It's not that though.
Something Polly Pocket. I had one of those and the coffee, and I'm feeling like
wired.
I'm just on the it's good. I feel slightly anxious. I'll never sleep. And just kind of like I'm riding the waves of chaos.
Well, that's good because we don't have any notes today, so it's good that you have energy.
I don't even know if I have energy now. I'm in a weird liminal state at the moment, I'm afraid.
Liminal state. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened today was we forgot to do notes. It was a comedy of ours.
Well, I think I was saying to you, I'm doing the notes for the main episode. Yeah. Like, do you want me to do notes? And then you were like, no, don't do the notes. I was like, you sure? Then I was leaving. Then I went in, I was like, I better do the notes on the mini fuzz, and she said, but sure, Rob said not to do the mini fuzz.
Oh, Paola.
So I would have done it otherwise. Paola. This could turn out to be the best episode ever, though.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah. That's me singing in frustration at Paola.
She'll like that.
But, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this riveting mini fuzz, we'd like to remind everyone to check us out on Patreon. That supports and helps the pod. We will be recording our exclusive episode for Patreon next week, I dare say. And there's a bunch over there, a bunch of old ones. There's literally like 4.5 years worth of content. Lots of episodes, lots of video exclusives, and all of that jazz is over there. You also get access to our Discord where you can come and hang out with all of our lovely, lovely listeners and indeed us.
We're there.
Yeah,
we're there.
I seen a thread on this is how juvenile and silly my sense of humor is, and so there's a thread on the Irish subreddit about funny names of people in real life in Ireland, like names that just sounded funny. And there was some lad said he knew someone called Lesbian.
Lesbian? Is that what you changed your name to that on the Discord? I was like
I laughed about that. I'm not joking you. I literally got like 24 hours out of that. I was like putting stuff into my car the next day and I was legitimately happy that there's someone out there called Lesbian.
Yeah.
And
Lesbian. She should marry Mike Hunt.
Yeah.
They'll have the crack.
And I changed your name to...
Did you change my name?
Yeah, yours is so there's Lesbian and you are check out your own
Dustin
Discord. No, you're
after changing me.
Check your name.
You usually do, you change the old names now.
So but anyway, that's how juvenile I am.
You're quite juvenile.
One of the Wexford names we had is BJ Horror, was the name of the shops.
That's right. They're gone now though, up for sale.
Like you would think that that's made up, but it's a shop name.
It should be.
The shop name is BJ Horror.
Connie Lingus. Hang on.
No, it's you. It's pure ridiculous, like.
Oh no, I'm MF Amo. Let me see.
No, if you go to like general chat there, you'll see the name probably. I can't remember what I called you. It's something like that though. It's not lesbian, but it's not a lesbian.
You're still into it.
I want to write books about the pen name of Lesbian.
Lesbian.
Yeah, because for our listeners, Behan is an Irish surname, Behan.
Yeah, well, Brendan Behan's famous writer from Ireland. I'm just trying to think what their last name was.
Behan.
Every time I go.
Did you find it? You found it.
Wayne Scales.
Yeah, Wayne Scales.
Oh, Wayne Scales is good. Lesbian. That's very like wholesome.
A simple comedy. Is juvenile, but as simple as gold.
Wayne Scales.
Yeah, apparently that's a real person.
No, it definitely is. Like, how could you call your son that?
I love it. I actually love it. But yeah, if they have any spooky stories, maybe they have anyone with silly names, or do they send that in?
Are you the possessor of a silly name? monsterfuzzpodcast@gmail.com. But do actually let us know what are the silliest names that you know to be true. My mom told me that when she was in Canada, I think this could be bullshit, but she said she knew a lad called Robert Loblaw.
I believe
his name was Bob Loblaw.
blah blah blah. That's just
It's really blah blah blah.
blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
That's crazy.
He would run like if you ran for office, it's just the blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Tackling crime. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, no.
Pretty good.
But that like simple little things like that now can just.
It's really what you need
light
to
up
remember
my
for
day.
your own life is if you can get the happiness, as the lady says, does it spark joy? You know,
If I knew him, like if I knew lesbian, like I would
be a girl as well.
that'd be just like for me, just hilarious. Every time I introduced him to someone, it'd be the best thing.
You just
ever.
laugh.
Like here's lesbian.
See, the thing is though, as well, like a lot of people won't immediately. You just go lesbi because it sounds like, but not exactly. So it's Wayne Scales is the same.
Wayne Scales.
Oh, we're off to a
silliness. So what we did, because we forgot to do episode notes, we took to our Instagram, which I believe usually we do Patreon questions, but today we took to our Instagram.
Are they ruder or like? Because I haven't
so
seen
far
these
so
at all.
good. There's 5 have come in so far now, and hopefully as we're recording this episode, more will come in. So question number 1 is from Surreal Photography 87. Shouts out. They responded to our question with, can we get some South American cryptids, the Jumbi or Asema in Suriname? Okay. I don't know. Yes is the answer to that.
We did El Duende before, didn't we?
He was, yeah, we did.
I was going to do Coropido at some point.
We did the pink dolphin from
the pink
Brazil.
dolphin. Yeah, we did a couple of, we did a lot of alien Brazil stuff, UFO Brazil. But yeah, the pink dolphin's there.
Yeah, pink dolphin, El Duende was kind of south of the border.
He's Mexican, isn't he?
Yeah.
The wall.
We haven't done Chupacabra. We've said that Chupacabra would be the last episode ever, because that was the first scripted we talked about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we absolutely will. We need to do more cryptid stuff.
We definitely have a lot of South American stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is Brazilian UAP.
If you can point us to where to find a lot of that info, that would be great, because sometimes it actually gets lost in translation is what happens. So like, even when I was doing the notes for the Yeren, that Chinese Bigfoot, it's quite difficult to get research done.
Yeah. When I did the pink dolphin, I remember there was stuff that you had to kind of
translate and stuff.
Yeah, well, not even translate, but the translation itself was from Portuguese to English, so it was like a little bit misleading at
Think
times.
about all that Russian stuff, for example, that like we probably just haven't seen.
The lads who turned to stone.
Yeah, like there could be like really cool Russian stuff that is just lost in translation. Like a lot of permafrost stuff, a lot of the sort of thawing out is quite interesting. Have you heard? I read something recently. Was it that they were saying something mad like fucking? And again, I'm just literally trying to relay this from memory. I can't. But it's something like there's like they think that there's cures for diseases being revealed by the permafrost melting. Like they're finding
with the new
like
bacteria,
something like that. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Literally, I do not know.
Yeah, you
so I'm not
the
going to
article or
pretend.
whatever. Like
yeah, but it's kind of mental, because I've read the other side of it where it's like
all bad shit.
Shit's coming out.
Yeah.
Like the fucking Power
Well,
Rangers.
I guess you would get Reader Repulsa.
Yeah.
You would get bacteria. Maybe that would be beneficial, and then obviously stuff that wouldn't be, which could cause us to have. Does that mean we could have like basically prehistoric sicknesses coming back?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it means. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get like a cordyceps. Oh, no, sure, that's just the game Last of Us. I was going to say cordyceps that infects humans, but that is just the game Last of Us.
There's like anthrax and stuff getting released, and they're killing piles of animals.
I'm sure lads used to be sending that around in envelopes and all. That would be fine.
Speaking of fucking devastation, actually, while I remember, we should really, I was actually meant to upload something onto our story, but I'll do it here instead, because we actually, LA, well, the greater California is our second most populated area for listeners in America, behind Texas, I think.
I thought we'd be too conservative.
Or actually, no, I think it is. I think it's actually California first and Texas second. So
right.
A lot of listeners over there, just make sure these are safe, man. It's absolutely crazy.
What was the story? Because they're politicizing it now. About,
of course they are,
yeah. Like, but like, is there any? Because I didn't follow any of that. It's just lads using anything to throw mud at other lads.
Yeah, if you want to just like not look at it politically at all, the best way to look at it is it's always supposed to rain in LA in January. It didn't rain, and the ground was super, super dry. They had really strong winds and fires. Like the fires and the winds, it was just it was just a really bad combination of things to happen. And I think you can do that without politicizing it or saying anything crazy. And it's like, you know, as well, because like people try and say like, oh, it's like all the rich people's houses got burned down.
Oh, so that conspiracy.
Yeah. All of the elites.
Diddy conspiracy. Yeah.
All of the elites' houses got burned down. This is not some kind
Everyone
of
who's ever been at a Diddy party, all of the evidence is turned to ash.
No, but it's legitimately like...
It's horrible, yeah.
No, but like, I was sending clips to people of just like there's a clip of, you know, they're driving down... is it Malibu? Is that Miss Malibu, LA? Or is that Florida? I can't remember. But anyway, they're driving down that iconic coastal road. I'll call it the GTA road because it's in GTA and everything. And it's near where that Santa Monica Pier is around that area, I think. I know that because of GTA. But they were doing like before and after the fire side by side footage of driving down the same road. It's just mad. It's nuts. Shouts out to Jamie Lee Curtis for comparing it to Gaza genocide as well. That was wise.
The fire.
Shouts out. How could you be that fucking stupid to come out and say something that's idiotic?
You're out of touch. I'm out of time.
But yeah, just it's for everyone. It's a shit scenario. It's horrible.
Of course,
you know, you can't fight Mother Nature that way, and it's just crazy. Like even people that like I watch are affected. You know, like we've talked about Maximilian Dude before.
Yeah, I saw him. He's
big time affected by
Melina
it. Like.
is unaccounted for from wrestling. Who used to do the splits when she came in the ring. Yeah, there was someone put up a thing and it was like asking her, does anyone have information? But apparently, no one's heard from her for a while. So hopefully, thoughts and prayers. She was Johnny Nitro's missus in wrestling. Right, we'd be sad to see her in a bad situation.
Johnny Nitro.
John Morrison, as he goes by nowadays in AEW.
I seen Chris Jericho the other day, and he's just
He's not looking well, is he? He's not looking
Someone needs to just stop.
He was like he's.
Someone needs to stop his old ass.
It's mad though. There's muscle there. I don't know what's going on inside the body.
He's not.
He still does lion salts.
I know. Yeah, he's not able, man.
He put you on the list now. You're really on the list, man. Jeff Hardy is going to be on Chris Van Vliet tomorrow, which is in the past today, so Tuesday. Yeah. So go look. Everyone loves Jeff Hardy. Clean and sober.
Oh, good to hear. It's always good to hear.
I like Jeff.
Who doesn't?
The police for a while with all the DUIs, but I like him a lot.
So yeah, no, look, it's just a devastating thing, and like obviously, as with anything like this, it's like the celebrities' houses that's getting all the fucking publicity, but there's so many just average Joes, people that. Like, look, it's horrible for everyone, but there are people who can bounce back because they have the money, and then there are people who absolutely can't bounce back. And so, yeah, there are levels, shall we say? And so, yeah, I just feel terrible for everyone. It's really, really fucking shit. Yeah, it's just cack. What more can you say? So Cam Stakes asks, Cam is long-time listener, I believe a patron. And he asks, you guys ever, eat beans while hammered? Beans, love. Yeah, beans. That we're not British, like.
Connie Lingus?
If we're British, like, eat beans with everything.
Well, Paola makes some lovely Brazilian beans. I haven't eaten them hammered.
I'd say he means
Connie
Heinz
Lingus
beans.
Oh, I thought he meant Connie Lingus.
No.
Like, flicking beans. Hammered.
Well, what kind of fucking perverted brain are you coming out with?
Beans.
Why do you come to this perverted
you wouldn't know with these people. These characters, like, if you listen to us, you're not well. Do you know what I mean? We're not well for producing it, and you're definitely not well for listening to it.
I'd say it just means regular beans, man.
I don't know, man. But you see, now you're questioning yourself.
No, not really.
Well, like, when I'm hammered, I never do Connie Lingus. No way. I think I've made beans on toast hammered once or twice.
It's good hangover. Good hangover remedy.
Good hangover remedy, but generally speaking, you want to do as minimal cookery as possible when you're hammered. You want toast, microwave, that's fine, but if you don't have a microwave, lad, I know, be putting pizzas in the oven every Saturday and nearly burning the house down 52 times a year.
My ma recommends eating spaghetti hoops for an upset stomach, and I was like, "Ma, you're insane!" Like, that
is insane.
It's like a bag of sugar.
That's like what causes the upset stomach. Like, that's
it's a bag of it's a tin of acidic sugar. It's like, it's not going to help any type of stuff. She's like, well, it works for me. And I'm like, well, great. But it doesn't. It works in that it kills all the bacteria in your stomach.
It kills the stuff that's worse than it.
But I'm like, no, it's not a good remedy for a fucked up stomach. But then again, listeners, give it a go if you want. There you go. You got me Ma's home remedy.
Bit of ginger. Just chew a bit of ginger is usually the best thing for an upset stomach. Flat Coke is another one. I think that's more like
some kind of Chinese person.
That's more like ginger. E. coli shit. Do you know what I mean? You get sick on holidays. Bit of Coca-Cola.
I seen a fucking, here's one for you.
Oh Lord.
Cryptid clip.
Oh Lord.
On Reddit.
Oh, is this the Bigfoot?
No.
In the snow.
Dinosaur cryptids.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I heard a lad saw a raptor in the forest.
This is what it was. It was in the woods, and it was a silhouette of like 2 or 3 raptor looking shadows running through the woods. Like they moved like raptors.
But is it just AI? Like
it's not AI, but it's probably turkeys. It's probably turkeys.
And they just look bigger than they are.
It's probably turkeys. But
imagine just 3 raptors in the woods that were found.
But that's the goal.
Like
that was my childhood dream, and it still is my dream actually as I've grown up. That's all I really care about.
We have, I don't know if you've looked into the episode that will be coming out on Monday.
I haven't.
That we have the notes for. It's the reason I like doing this podcast. Cool. And it is a man in the woods attacked by entities, not raptors unfortunately, but I love the idea. I wouldn't like the practice of it. I love just walking around Urclow Forest by myself and you just see a raptor,
man.
But like it'd need to keep its distance because they're quite dangerous.
Yeah, I've said it before on the pod, but I remember as a kid they used to, I think my uncles or maybe my dad and all, but they used to say like, I was probably asking like, is there dinosaurs up there?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, yeah, there's dinosaurs up here, and I'm like, class. Where are them dinosaurs at? Like,
yeah, Pete, they used to tell me there was like sharks in the water.
Yeah,
just
class.
Stop asking questions.
Yeah. No, because like still when I go to Johnstown, because it has some of them kind of old school big plants by the water and all.
Yeah, the monster plants.
Like,
we used to call them monster plants. When we were
like
a kid.
Maybe there's a dinosaur in there like coming out.
And then if it actually did come out, it'd be terrible for everybody.
I'd probably enjoy it getting it. I'd be like one of them lads. Although I was going to say I'd be like that lad with the bears, but I don't think he was happy when he was getting eaten, was he? I think it just said the audio recordings of that. I don't think he was.
The grizzly man?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, he wasn't happy. Well, like the bear.
You'd think he would be, like, because you would have thought like he would have come to terms with, like, the reason I say this is because he devoted his life to bears, right? So obviously, right, so one of 2 things is going on. Either he's mental enough to think I'm never going to get eaten by these bears, or he has half a brain and he's like, there's a chance I'll get eaten by these bears. And like you would think in that you'd be like, okay, I'm getting ate by bears, but like, look, I get it. I understand.
If the bear didn't hold you down with one paw and literally just eat you alive, like if you were mad into big cats and they just get you by the jugular and it's a relatively quick death,
you're like, all right.
You're like, yeah, what's it? But like if you're watching a bear eat your intestines as you're screaming for a priest,
help me.
Come on, McGee, this is not professional. Yeah, I don't think he liked that. Like. I've sort of, in a sense, dedicated my life to my wife. I've agreed to be with her forever.
Like
but if she held me down with one hand and ate me ass for... Well, actually...
Now that you mention it. Eating beans. different type of beans. Yeah, no, like, look, I'd like to be eaten by a dinosaur, I think.
Are we still talking about the bean question?
No.
This is
a new one.
What's this question again?
I don't know. Just thought about it.
Was this the 3rd question?
Oh no, we are on beans.
We're on the bean one, yeah. No. Well, this, you've seen a live digression there. That's a live digression where we can't even remember where we started. We start with would you eat beans drunk, and we end with getting eaten ass first by a bear.
Oh no, I brought up because I brought up the dinosaur footage there.
Yeah, but even how we got to that beggars belief. From eating beans drunk to finding a dinosaur in the forest.
Yeah, so
we're not well.
No, we're not. Mkins84 asks, I believe he's a Pedro as well. Have you ever seen a UFO or orb?
There was one, I talked about this once, I think, on the podcast. I don't think it was a UFO or an orb. I think it was something very explainable. When I was a kid, I was sitting on the hill in our street with a buddy of mine, very young. I remember seeing like a chrome ball, but it was down on the ground going into the forest, like where the GAA park is. You know when you go down the street below mine, those trees. So it would have been around that area. I'm sure there was a sensible explanation for it. But at the time, it was like a circular chrome thing that but it would have been on the ground, you know? But that's
it's like that urban Manchester airport song.
It would have been big though, because like there was a good bit of distance, So I don't know what it was, but that was the only time I've seen anything that was a bit odd. Did you ever see anything? Looking up at the stars?
No.
You're in the gutter, but you're looking at the stars. Ever see a mad UAP?
No. There was the only thing that I've seen in the sky that was unusual. Well, it wasn't even unusual. It was just like kind of a trick of the eye. Was when I think we were flying back from Japan, actually, or no, we weren't. We were flying back from Italy, I think. Whatever way a plane was coming up from some airport that we were kind of half flying by, it looked like it was like frozen still. It was on the ascent. Like it was coming up.
It was almost like a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, but it looked like it was like this and stuck. So much so that it was whatever way we were flying and they were rising.
Yeah.
It just looked like...
It was cancelling.
And I was like, that's legitimately in trouble. Like I thought the plane was in trouble because there was like black smoke coming off it, because it was when, you know, when the plane is first going up, there is black smoke that comes off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this
See that plane in South Korea with the landing?
Where everyone died like that one. No.
Yeah. Well, it was just like, you know, what did it landed, but it went off the runway and just went into...
Two people might have survived. Was a flight attendants at the back of the plane survived?
I didn't think anyone survived, but maybe they did.
2 or 1. Right. And I think they were the flight attendants at the back of the plane, so they were sitting right
they say that's the place, so they're probably on the seats by where the food is and everything. Yeah. That's what I'll do. If there's ever a trouble in the plane, I just gotta run to the back. Get out of my way.
I just wouldn't. Like I legitimately think I don't mind flying. I've been on probably one of the longest flights you can do
to Japan.
And I didn't mind it, but if I had like a hairy experience, I probably wouldn't fly again. Like I'm talking proper hairy. Like if I had an experience where the plane had to like emergency land, half and all. No, like because we'd probably be dead. Yeah, but like an oxygen coming down, huge loss of pressure, and maybe like a landing at an airport we're not supposed to land at because there's something really bad gone wrong. I think I'd probably hang up the gloves down at that point. Hang up the aviation goggles.
Well, you would have been, just put them up on top of the head.
My Teddy Ruxpin days are over.
Your Burberry scarf in the bin. I suppose that makes sense. I think as well.
Did Teddy Ruxpin fly?
I heard Teddy Ruxpin was.
Who was the one with that? Or was it Rupert? One of the bears.
There was a bear that had like a
the
brown
aviation goggles and the brown leather. Was that Teddy Ruxpin?
I don't know. I bought a toy of him for Paula, but we wound up calling him Gilbert, and that definitely wasn't his name.
Teddy Ruxpin, Postman Pat was a bit of a nonce. Was he? Or was he all right?
I think he was more into bestiality. He was hanging around with that cat the whole time. Like it was a bit weird.
But you were going to say something there insightful about something. Okay. That's basically the podcast.
That's basically
in a nutshell. This is, but yeah, to get back to it, nothing. I've seen nothing crazy in the sky where I'm like, this can't be explained. The only, like, literally the only thing, and people that listen week in, week out will know what I'm about to say. The only weird thing I've really had is like a shadow person experience. I've had a lot of very strange coincidences over the years, like ones that are just sometimes you're like, what the fuck? I'll give you an example. I was up in Dublin at an appointment today, and the nurse's sister lives in the street. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How would you have that fucking shit? Like,
or when you opened your Pokemon card and you had 3 rare cards in one.
Yeah.
You're just long shot in X-Men. He was naturally luckier. That was his mutant power.
I don't think I'm that lucky. I don't.
You're fucking long.
I'm lucky in like mundane things.
Yeah,
it's like
that's better than being
non-lucky in anything, I suppose. Yeah.
That's it. Like
maybe that's my superpower, to be lucky in mundane things that have no bearing on your overall well-being.
You should be living in squalor, scrounging out a living, and yet here you are.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, things like that when it happens, you're like, wow. I seen this will blow your fucking brain. It's time to get deep.
Oh, fuck.
This is what happens when we have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, pretty good though. This is better, I think, than most episodes we do.
Seeing like, I don't know, if it was an MRI or something, a picture of like the brain tissue and how it's connected and all that, and then a picture of like our universe or something. And
as above, so below.
They're both the same, laid out the same. That's mad.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Do you ever think of like when you look at
they're laid out the same. They look the same.
The atom with the nucleus and everything around it, and it just looks like, as you zoom out, it looks like the galaxy.
That's the worrying thing. And then I got into a bit of an existential crisis on the drive home today, and I was like, what if we are just in a brain of a bigger animal?
Probably are.
And like everything that we've done and everything that we will do is limited by the mortality of whatever we're in.
But it'd be weird then, because that would exist within us, and it's just like Fibonacci, man, all the way down, man.
But whatever, like, you know, whether like, oh, we're going to send like probes to the end of space and all.
Man. What if
the end of space is like grey matter of another animal?
What if all of this is like a mite that you know when like a thing comes out of the skin, all this existence. Yeah. That's like kind of a cosmic joke, really, wouldn't it be?
It makes sense though.
In a way. It also makes no sense.
It makes none, but it makes every sense.
But none of this makes sense.
No, that's what I'm saying.
This whole thing is retarded. Sorry. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't mean it. That's the first one in a while. Sorry, I didn't mean it offensively against anyone.
Yeah, it is though, you're right. It's well regarded.
Well regarded.
It is. No, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Like it makes it makes
sense to a point.
No, until we understand what is beyond what we can see, then everything makes as much sense as the other thing.
I don't think that we'll ever be.
And then that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because we can't grasp it, then it could literally be
But everything we're doing is stupid. Like the world. Like the amount of resources, everything we have here, we have everything to make everyone happy, and we can't do it. And if you put more than 2 people in a room, and sometimes only 2 people in a room, they find a way to start fighting with each other.
They do.
Even you by yourself will find a way to go again. Like none of it makes sense. It's well regarded.
No, but think about it. Like if you. Like even today, right? So I was up for listeners. I was up at an allergy appointment because I get sinusitis, I get itchy skin, all that fucking crap. Boring. But he was saying it's basically dust mites. But he was talking to me about like how I don't know what it is. To just give an example, I think it's actually more. But they were saying something like on one speck of dust, there's like 4,000 dust mites. Now, that's
how do you even figure that out?
That's insane.
If I have to start life all over again, I'd never be able to make an apparatus that would tell me that there were 4,000 dust mites on a speck of dust.
But what I don't know is like, you know, we need intelligent people. That's not Google will tell you that too, man.
Google's full of lies as well. Google's full of bullshit.
But what that'll tell you is like, or like, is it possible? It's probably not possible, but is it possible for sentient life to emerge on that spectrum? Like. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like this is a spectrum of minuscule things, but within that minuscule spectrum, is it possible for things at that scale to evolve intelligently? But because they're so small, they're not there to us.
You're effectively, we are a dust mite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
we're a dust mite. This is existential. A fleck of dust.
This is existential madness for you, brother.
It doesn't really matter because like whatever it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? And we're not going to know. We may not ever know. We may die and that could be lights out. That's it forever. Or you have to like watch your life again. And like I'll be up there with God and like, that time you said that by mistake. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think you have to walk a line between being nihilistic and being optimistic. And you have to find the balance. Because
like it don't bother me either way. I actually like I don't really care.
But that's the kind of shit that if I thought that my head used to think about that when I was smoking hash, and it used to like unravel me. Whereas now I have bested the hash.
Yeah, it's like because like if you go down to like tardigrade size, right? You know the little space pigs, tardigrades. Yeah. Like at tardigrade size, like at their scale, they're going around like cows or something or pigs. And like there's other things that are their size that like it's like going along the plains of the fucking Serengeti. The tardigrades are going around like hippos.
But we assume, but you assume that they don't have as complex consciousness as we have, which might be wrong.
They might. Sure. How can you test it?
Sure, panpsychism. Sure, you can't make an argument for consciousness as it is, except that we know we have it.
Yeah, because like if you were to compare the size of a tardigrade to you or I, right, and then put us as a tardigrade and something more intelligent and that size bigger than us, right? They wouldn't be able to process whether we're intelligent or not because they wouldn't be able to see it unless they had sophisticated ways of seeing it. Now, don't get me wrong, we can see tardigrades and we know that like tardigrades aren't playing Xbox and PS3 or anything yet.
Well, that we know of.
They're playing PS2.
Yeah, probably.
Soon. It's PS3.
Atari links.
But, you know, look, it's just food for thought. It's mad. When you see, look it up, listeners, check out the, I think it is like a brain scan and then the universe or something blown up.
But like the other side as well is there's also like there's also like a walnut looks like a brain, a wedge of an orange looks like a lung. Do you know? But you know what I mean? Like it's all, why is my elbow skin the same as my ball skin? Like. Yeah, right. I think there's something there. I think there is something about the further back you pull, the more something comes into focus. I think cosmically we can't see the wood for the trees, but we think we can, but we can't.
No, I think so. Yeah, I agree with you. Someone commented on our Instagram during the week, shouts out, that we look younger than we sound, and that is the burden of being geniuses. I think
we look younger than we sound, but not
we sound so sophisticated and
well, I think the big thing is we're maintaining our youth by being infantilized.
No, we're very intelligent.
Video games and garbage.
We have very insightful and intelligent conversation on this podcast.
I don't know. I'd say if we did an IQ test, we'd be unpleasantly surprised.
Sort of like, is this Radiolab? Oh no, it's Master.
Oh wow, I thought that was Jad Abura and all the boys from Radiolab. I think we could
IQ test. I think I've done them. I'm not great now.
What are you?
I can't remember.
I'd say we'd score in around. I want to say like we'd be.
I'd be about average. I think. Yeah, something like that.
100 is average, is it? Or
yeah, I was over that.
And 140. I can't really remember. 140. What was Einstein? 160 or 140? If you get like 140, you're like big brain. But who cares? Loads of lads with mad high IQs can't tie their laces.
Yeah, no.
So how smart are you really?
Yeah, no, I'm redlining in certain categories now.
I'm like, if when you spend all your RPG attribute points on the wrong characteristics, exactly the way I
can't
shit. But
that's exactly the way I am. So things like IQ tests and all generally aren't the best for me because I'm a bit like, I'm not book smart. Really, I can be.
No, but I think you're very like I would have even when like because you dropped out of school early. So when we first met each other, you wouldn't have been at the age to have graduated school. But I was like, and I had just graduated college.
You were like, is this Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Like, I digress, Tyson. Mike Tyson or Neil deGrasse Tyson? Which one is he? But I always thought you were very intelligent. You were insightful.
Genius like me.
I thought I was like, why did I spend all that money in college when I could have just dropped out of school?
My when I was up at the allergist doctor today, actually, he had a yoke up my nose, like, and he seen me septum stevia. He was like, "You've definitely like fucking taken. If you've taken a few punches or something to us." I was like, "Taking some, giving some." I was like, "It could be that." I was like, "I don't know what's wrong with it." I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Literally, I don't know," because he thought maybe that the septum was knocked over. I was like, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but even like I broke my nose like 2 or 3 times.
I actually don't remember,
wonky,
but it goes
over. My nose goes like Mick McCarthy. It like bends over a little bit.
Nice. So Ted Louise 94 asks, and to the listener who said that we sound younger. I have quite a deep voice. That's probably why. But other than that, no, we're very young. I mean.
Well, I'm
so
like
young.
Halfway through life. I'm 40.
Yeah, that's young, man.
Yeah, is it?
It's young. Now.
Well, it's young for we've like pixel art.
Yeah,
and
pixel
fucking,
art. No,
you know,
we're just young.
We're at. Sorry, I think it damaged.
That's
well, I think we
lucky Puka
people in work say that to me all the time when they find out my age. They're like, I thought you were in your early
hello
30s.
Fellow kids.
And hello fellow children.
Yeah, no, look, that's the crack. I've said it before, you know, look at any modern media nowadays, like you have these like old ass, like in all these movies nowadays, like couples are like fucking 50 with like a 2-year-old and they're like, oh, we have to protect the children. And it's like, all right. But that's the way it is now.
Yeah.
That's reality.
Well, it's so difficult because you have to like, or for the majority of people, you try to create a career, become financially stable, and then you're like, oh, wow.
My life
Your
is over.
eggs have run out. Okay, now what?
Time crisis.
Action.
No, it's true. It is true. Tay Louise asks, if you were a ghost, I like this question, Tay, very good. Much better than our patrons most of the time. Actually. Just so you know, lads, step your game up. Tay has got you, sir. If you were a ghost, what would be your go-to signature scare to make people Weetabix? Yeah, how would you frighten the shit out of people, like, in other words?
Yeah. I'd be kind of a benevolent ghost, so I'd wait for them to be trying to take a shit, and then I might like turn on the shower out of nowhere or something like that, or tickle their bum under the water.
Yeah, frightening people. How do I like frightening people?
Well, like, do you have to stick? I'm just thinking of the rules of hauntings. You know, it's usually you're opening and closing door. It's actually my dad's reason for not believing in ghosts, because he's like, so what? Like, you come back as a ghost and you just open and close doors. He's like, that's fucking shite crap.
Yeah, that is shite crap.
And he makes a salient point. To be fair, my father intellect to the stars. He's to
he gave birth to Usher, so
he gave birth to me, and then he was like, oh no. He was like King Herod. I must destroy the child.
What will the proletariat think?
Do you know what I think would be really scary? The thing that's always made me nervous is a TV coming on without being plugged in. That's a good one. Number one scare for me. Good. That's the Khabib Nurmagomedov of scares.
I'm going to stick with a similar theme, and I'm going to start reversing the songs on the radio. Oh. So when stereo... Yeah. I'm trying to think what else can be really fucking eerie. Do you know what I do, actually? I don't know whether ghosts can do this, but I'm going to do it as a ghost. Like, subtly fuck with pictures around the house. Like, and what I mean is actually change what's on them. Like, picture, like, oh, it's a family photo. And then... Black eyes. But, but like, oh, where'd that spooky fucker behind everyone come from? Like, that's new.
That's good.
And then, like, put that same spooky fucker in all the pictures. It'd be just like me popping out from behind a tree or something. You know, like that guy, the meme, the black guy in the yellow suit doing the dance. It'd be like me coming out behind the fucking tree.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that's like the slow burn.
Stuff like that can be really creepy. Fucked up pictures and stuff is creepy. Yeah. Footsteps would be quite creepy.
Footsteps knocking on doors.
Or, do you know what's a good one? Messing with the dog. So, like, the dog is growling and shit. And, like...
Or a cat staring into the corner of the room,
Yeah, doing that would be good. That's a good one. Bimmer fan Dan asks, Darth Vader or Dark Anakin, if he didn't get crispy on Mustafar. Okay.
This is more of a question for you. More of a
I have the higher ground.
Anakin, you can't defeat me. Don't do it.
It's always Darth Vader.
He says that.
I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
It was meant to be you.
I'm actually like him now with my fucking CPAP machine.
Yeah, you are a bit, actually. No!
Not far off. I'll give I've had like so in the last like 2 months, I feel like I've had like more health things than I've ever had in my life. So I will probably on Patreon do an update about that.
Sounds older than he is, and on the inside he's older than he is too.
No, it's all grand. It's all actually positive, but like it's
HIV positive.
I have hepatitis. No, it's all positive, but like basically, long story short, I'm like Darth Vader. So no, it's always Darth Vader. He's just so cool. His theme tune is cool. Yeah, Hayden Christensen. Look, I actually don't mind him.
No, I wasn't as angry at Hayden Christensen. The Star Wars fans are like wrestling fans. No one hates Star Wars or wrestling more than Star Wars wrestling fans.
No, look, I like the prequel trilogy. I think they're good.
I thought the second one
is a bit cack.
Well, like, I went to the cinema to see it, and I was like, wow. Yeah, like when Yoda, like, it makes no sense, walks around with a crutch, and then all of a sudden he's like, Shazam, motherfucker! And he's doing flips and fucking parkour shit.
The battle on Geonosis in episode 2 was really good. That was like worth the whole film. It was like, okay.
The final battle in Revenge of the Sith was cool. Yeah, very cool as well. Yeah.
No, like, look, there were things they did well.
And as well, for a lot of people, like, that was their Star Wars. So they were coming up at that time when, like, people would have been 12 or whatever in the 70s watching the original trilogy. So that's got, like...
Dark Anakin as well is, like, non-character developed Darth Vader. And the sort of nice part about Darth Vader was at the very end of it, he was, like, developed as a sort of I have a bit of compassion. I was a wayward son, you know. You carry the torch, Luke. And
Dark
Anakin was killing children for the crack.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like,
which is good if you're into like a villain, like a pure evil bastard.
If you're looking at like the Joker,
yeah,
like
if you're a pure
bad,
evil
like,
bastard, So I get why people might go, like I want him like dark as fuck, like. But I think all of that happening and then Darth Vader being Darth Vader and then finally coming full circle into how he kind of ended.
I don't think you can come full circle when you murder a bunch of kids.
Yeah, well, you died.
Like, that's
he died.
Yeah, he did, but it's one of those things where it's like
spoiler
society. Yeah, so sorry guys, society like doesn't let you come back from.
No,
like you understand killing a kid by mistake, but killing like dozens of children. You can't. Like if we had known that.
Yeah.
When we watched the, episode 6 or whatever, you would have been like,
it's a bad balance.
And speaking of us being a smaller organism, a much larger organism, that was what the last 3 Star Wars movies are meant to be. It was the Metachlorians, and it was like inside the body of the universe.
I try and forget the last ones, the last couple.
Well, they were just like diet original trilogy.
No, they were just all poor. Like the first one was like okay. You were like,
I didn't like the first. I liked the second one, but I didn't like the first.
The first one was really contrived, but you were like, oh, that's fine if they're going to take it in a different direction. Like I'll do with that because again, it's like, again, I've talked about it on the pod, like the Alien remake thing, where like my friend made a really good point where he was like, how many times are they going to have the same ending on these Alien films? And I get it, I do get it. But you do have to reintroduce the new audience to like kind of the core steps of that story. And I get why they do it. So I get why they did it with the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
But
well,
I can't remember
you're playing with a ton of money as well.
Yeah.
So they want like something that is,
they
don't want to be like, give this to an auteur who's going to like make a really zany, like the fact that, what was your man's name? Rian Wilson.
I don't know.
The fella who directed the second one. Yeah. It was the one that kind of went,
that was
all right,
bad.
This is weird. I really enjoyed it because it made you think a bit about what was going on.
The second was good, and then the third was like,
one
for
I did not
sake,
like.
You're gonna put Palpatine again for fucking Lord Christ.
He's half
what
machine.
I couldn't believe
it's not Palpatine.
Like, that was just so annoying. So no,
same.
I have absolutely zero. That killed me. And then the Mandalorian, I was like, oh yeah, Star Wars is kind of getting better. But now I've just it actually poisoned me off Star Wars.
Well, the Mandalorian is like that's getting a movie as well. But you wonder what's left to do.
I don't want to see a Mandalorian film. I don't give a fuck. Is that poisoned?
If you had just had the first 6 episodes of the Mandalorian, everyone probably would have been happy. There's too much Star Wars now.
They poison me.
Yeah,
it's over.
There's a new Jurassic Park this summer.
I'll watch that.
Yeah. Jurassic Park.
Scarlett Johansson's in it.
Huh?
Scarlett Johansson's in it.
She is like, but she's in everything now. I should be fed up by her.
Rude.
Is she grand? No, I just mean like when you wouldn't be like, oh wow, I'm gonna go see Scarlett Johansson. You're like, sure, I've seen her and everything. It's too late. I've already seen everything.
Well, yeah. No. Dinosaurs, Scarlett Johansson, get a grip.
Yeah.
Stop being so spoiled.
But like, come on.
Like, get a grip.
I want to give some. I'd love to give some maybe other actors a chance. Maybe some up and comers.
Should have did that. They gave Bryce Dallas Howard the role there.
Sure, she was fucking Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, sure.
She's been around.
I didn't even recognize her.
She's Ron Howard's child. Nepotism.
Yeah, but sure.
I want to see an unheard of. No, I don't. I don't care if Scarlett Johansson. I just want it to be a good movie about dinosaurs.
It'll be class.
Remember the second one though?
Yeah.
And the third one wasn't much better.
Third one was better, but
second one though, a gothic horror with a fucking
that was cack.
With a gene spliced raptor. Gene splice.
Donkey Mickey. Good old Ingrid Serbanas, my piano teacher.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh la la. Do 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 do. She asks, where's the best place?
Where is my money for the piano lesson?
Robert, you haven't paid me in 4 sessions. You're overdue. Where's the best place to see a fairy in Ireland? I was going to say something silly and I'm not going to now.
Oh yeah, I know what
you know a lowbrow joke.
I know it's
you know exactly what I was.
Yeah, I know exactly.
It's a place in Dublin.
You had a choice between two places, but yeah, fucking reprehensible.
No, I'm not going to do that. I didn't do it.
I would say
a magical. So we need a magical spot in Ireland. Magical.
Well, no, it's not the touristy bits. I'd say you're looking somewhere in Kerry. That would be my bet, or Donegal. Donegal's a liminal area. But I don't know where you would find it in either of those places.
So I'll go one better for you.
Lord.
There are stories and accounts of a leprechaun / fairy sightings here in Wexford Town, out at where McDonald's is. You know where McDonald's is?
Drogheda.
Sinnestown Lane. So you go out to Sinnestown Lane Road as if you were to come to that cross up on that hill. There's a little humpback bridge. Apparently, that's at that humpback bridge. Apparently, fairies and leprechauns hang out.
Well, my dad did mushrooms in the Rue Glen when he was young, and there was a cross up there. Yeah, and him and his friend took a load of mushrooms. And these were the days when you'd call mushrooms fairies. So
all right.
Does it all come full circle? And he had an experience. He said he went in for a pint, and he said he could only see in black and white, and he had to go home. So that was my dad's experience.
Everything became the 1930s.
Everything became binary, son. Never do mushrooms. It becomes binary. Everything becomes binary.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
This is all... It's... Well, I tell you what's dangerous, folks, is when... See, I'm a boomer and I don't know how to use Apple. And
yeah, I don't get Apple either.
Yeah, okay, I've got it. Cam Stakes asks, will you guys come home in the States given the chance, and where would you go? Come to the States? Yeah, we would. Potentially, there is a sort of a pathway to us going to America, that involves someone that we're very close to in America. Hint, hint.
Donald Trump.
And if that emerges, we're not sure yet, and we're not like, it's not one of those things where we have concrete plans or anything. But if that happens, yeah, we would be on the East Coast, and yeah, we would come over for like probably 5 or 6 days or something, and just do a live show probably, not paid, obviously. I'm actually, to be honest with you,
I winked at the camera.
Yeah. But not that like that's legitimately a thing.
Well,
like,
you'd get in a lot of trouble if you got paid.
So
imagine going to an American prison for getting paid for doing a podcast show.
Yeah,
in America, and you're from Ireland.
Yeah.
That
So
would be awful.
it would be East Coast, but it's a shame. It's just America's so fucking big. Like, you'd love to be able to go, like, you'd love to be able to fly to America and then just go over to California as well.
Times Square.
But it's just so big. Well, we could see Times Square. We could do East Coast.
Yeah.
But
no,
like,
but I know
it's
what you
just
mean.
so big.
Yeah,
like,
it's vast. In Ireland, we're not aware of area.
No.
We're not aware. We're aware of time, but not space.
Yeah.
We have a small country.
So long story short, if the opportunity presents itself, yes. And we just haven't hashed that out yet. And it may or may not happen, but that would be how it happens, to be as vague as possible.
And again, though, even with, if we had the listenership in America that we have in Ireland, you could do shows much more regularly because it's condensed.
Yeah.
Whereas it's kind of
America's all spread out. Yeah.
So you can't go to a place and then expect people to come to you.
No, yeah, it's tough. Like, we could absolutely do like an East Coast, a West Coast, and a Southern America show, but motherfuckers would have to travel. Like Texas, I think we would be able to do a show, and I think LA we'd be able to do a show, but like it would have to be a thing where people were willing to travel, and that would be it. But I think we could pull it off. But again, I don't want to get into that side of it because I don't want to have to fucking do the logistics of like trying to get a work visa, and like
we wouldn't even get one
in Trump's America. We're not getting a work visa.
We might. We're fucking green-blooded.
I don't think, like, and I don't mean that as a thing on Trump, because it's been hard to get visas under Democrat presidents too. But
we'd get a tour. We could do a free show and do a tourist visa.
Yeah, pleasure.
And you could just give us money if you want, like some sort
of
No,
we don't want any money.
Are you allowed to like technically, if I went to America on a tourist visa, but then I begged for a day,
you'd have to pay American tax on it, I think.
Could you pay American tax on begging?
Yeah. I think actually, I'm not an expert on this, but I think we may already pay American tax, you and I,
because we're going through.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah,
sure. Look.
So I think we actually do. I think we have America. Hello.
Yeah, looks like we're already on the visa.
I think so. I think that's yeah. I didn't realize as well. This is a cool thing about Patreon. Obviously, I love Patreon. Patreon's fantastic. It's like our lifeblood. Like, it's such an important thing to any creative person, not just us. But like, I used to love a band called Pamplemousse. Pamplemousse, remember them? They were a cover band on Instagram. Do you remember them? Or not Instagram, YouTube. Way back in the day. Like, they used to do like she's like I don't know if she has French roots. She's like American French or Canadian French, maybe.
Quebecan.
But she sings in that real old school kind of voice that like,
come on, my darling.
Yeah, a little bit of that, more that kind of whispery, Frenchy sort of jazzy almost style. And they do covers of like everything and their own stuff. But anyway, one half of that was a guy called Jack Conte. He's the founder of Patreon. And the reason that he founded Patreon
to try and
it was because they used to go viral all the time on YouTube. They used to get like mad hits, and I remember it back in the day. They were like legit a big fucking thing on the platform, and they'd get nothing out of going viral. So they were like, we're making this stuff and like we're not getting anything, but like people know us.
So now you can give us money.
So he set up Patreon.
But he's probably making more money off Patreon
than
he ever made.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool story. Like, yeah. And they're really cool. So if people want to listen to Pamplemousse, I think it is Pomple Mouse. Very good. So it's just cool to see that that actually came from him. Coffee and Coconuts asks a random question, and this one's for me. Are you starting back up Video Game Waffle for any 2024 and 2025 releases? Yes, I think so. I really wanted to do one about Silent Hill, actually. I struggle, to be totally candid and truthful, I struggle when I'm on my own with things because I'm my own worst enemy and I'm very critical of myself. But when I mix with someone else, for some reason, I just don't care about anything. I don't know why that is. It's like,
blame them.
No, like it's not even a blame them thing. It's like it goes from something that's deeply personal to something that's just more organic or something. I don't know. But when I do it on my own, I'm very much like, fuck, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get this right. No, you did that wrong, and no, this is wrong, and you're not doing it right, and it's not as good as other things and stuff. So I do get in my own head a lot with my own projects. So I like to do things that are just easy, basically. And to be honest, talking about video games is very easy for me. But when you're recording on your own, you're like, fuck, I wish I could talk to someone about it as well.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker. Like what I found when I recorded episodes when you were away was that like it's a very, you get to where you need to get really quickly. Yeah. Whereas with us, because you present a different idea and then you kind of have to take that on and fire something back and it sort of organically goes somewhere. But when it's just you, I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I was listening to a guy that I was on a podcast with Gordo before. Shane is his name, and he has a. I must get the name of the podcast to give him a shout out in case anyone likes it. But it's basically about he's been doing a lot of stuff with mushrooms, and it's about the ceremony of like mushrooms and shamanistic retreats and all that sort of stuff. But it's I think it's called The Other Place. But he's did 2 episodes released recently. They're about 2.5 hours, an hour and a half each episode. But it's taken him basically a year to write them. But they're really interesting. But again, it just took him so long to get it right, you know? And I think we're very like addled in that we like to put out content quick, and you can't do that when it's just you. It's a lot more tricky. Yeah, I have. Yeah, The Other Place archive. I'll give him a shout out, Shane. It's a really. I couldn't tell you. Shane. Shout out Shane. Shane Aeroplane. Yeah, that's it. I do have a second name somewhere, but it's just it's really worth listening to. I think he has like 4 episodes. Yeah. 4 episodes out, yeah. Tell him Eamon sent you. 3 episodes, check it out. So, so no, I find that is an issue, and I find that I actually do have like projects that are like on the back burner that are very much like a real thing, but just I need to get that push to do them. What can be a stumbling block when you're getting to the thing is like, you have to, and it doesn't take long because it's funny, because like, probably part of the reason why this podcast is still going is because none of it was all very organic and it didn't take long to figure out anything. I find sometimes you can overthink, and I think that's probably what's happening with a lot of stuff. Like I've had so many ideas for like seasons of podcasts where I'm like, this is what I want to do, but then when it comes to execution, I stumble, and I don't know why, but I have all these ideas floating in my head. And I will like my plan essentially is like I plan to always make content, probably my whole life. It's something I just enjoy doing. Yeah. So like in some way, shape or form, I will always put shit out regardless. So yeah, so more stuff will be coming. Video Game Waffle will be coming. I do want to like change into doing something more like with maybe more people talking about video games. I do want to do that too. Video games are such a huge part of my life. Like they're a bigger part than cryptids or fucking aliens. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like I do want
that part of me represented, but it's just not right now. But yes, yeah, and I will clear games and talk about them, and I might actually play through Silent Hill 2 again and talk about it, because that was just nuts, that game. Nolan Nug asks, do you believe that we have free will? Let's extend it to cryptids. Does Mothman have free will? This is a fucking free will, bastards, on a Monday.
Yeah.
You bastard.
I'm not sure that no, we have free will. I've thought about this a lot and I can't make my mind up about it.
Yeah, I think it's
I think we have a lot less free will than we think we have.
Yeah.
I know they've done the experiments and it shows like in your mind, if you're pressing a button, your mind makes a decision a lot longer before you press it or whatever. I don't necessarily think that means you don't have free will.
There's definitions of free will as well, like and parameters to what you actually think is free will. It's like do you mean by free will, like, can people totally break the mold within the confines of their economic status, or do you mean like they can just at any one moment completely act uninhibited without any prior, act as if they have no prior knowledge of something,
I think,
or influence.
Where I keep getting tricked up on it is that like a lot of your life is just it's habitual and it's scheduled. So you get up, you make your coffee.
And instinctual.
I think when when you have to make a decision, you sit there and you go, all right, what are the pros, what are the cons, blah blah. The act of deciding what the pros and what the cons are. Well, maybe not. That could be part of your program. So, I spent way too long thinking about it one day, and I fucked myself off with it. Like,
is the ability, but here's the thing, though, right? So, let's say presented with the option to buy Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1 for €5, right? You or I would take that option. Yeah, guaranteed. Is free will not just the ability for you or I to say, I know that I know that I want to buy this, but I'm not going to buy it because I know that is, like, is that not breaking?
Is that your free will?
Yeah, is that not you just breaking the free will there?
And that could be.
Is it just that simple?
Will well. I don't think so. I think it's like, if you think of an operating system, we have like some sort of internal operating system.
But what is the other option in that scenario? So you're presented with I suppose the free will option is like, so you've got A, buy, B, not buy, but then option C, which is maybe classed as like the free will option, is like, what, like you could fucking volley the disc across the floor and run off and cover yourself in shit or something. Like, that's what I'm saying, is like, that's not necessarily free will either, just because you're acting mad.
But even if you act mad, that might be still not an example of free will.
Yeah, but it would be free will in the context of how you normally act, maybe.
But if you know what I mean? Like, let's say, for example, you go, for whatever reason,
Johnny has 5 PlayStation games.
Johnny can buy Resident Evil 1 with a manual, complete in box.
Lisa has GameCube. What was the example you're going to give?
Well, I think that, like, let's say, for example, something happened with your brain chemistry. You would start to act in ways that others would think were irrational. And it would seem to go against the idea of free will. I'm not saying free will doesn't exist just because of that, but that would happen, and that would go against your, let's call it your general operating system, the general thing you would do. Right. But you don't have control over that. So I wonder, is it the same on a smaller level, in that your brain chemistry pushes you forward?
I'm listening to you. I'm with you.
No.
I'm doing is I'm wanting to Google, and this is for our listeners as well, like a good question to demonstrate or to argue about free will. Do you know what I'm saying? So like we can actually kind of like, what's a good example?
But even if you if you're if you have to make a decision and you're weighing up pros and cons, or you're thinking about it, the way that you make a choice eventually, and you may not be 100% convinced with that choice, but all that, even though it feels like free will, may not be free will.
Right. So we've got a lot of like food for thought here, right? So basically, it refers, as we've said, it refers to the ability of individuals to make choices that are not determined by prior causes or external influences. Here are some examples of free will. Personal decisions, choosing what to eat to lunch, what career to pursue, or whom to marry, or what career to pursue. These decisions reflect individual preferences and values. Moral choices, deciding whether to help someone in need or to act selfishly. These choices often involve ethical considerations and reflect personal beliefs about right or wrong. Creative expression, so artists, writers, and musicians exercising their creativity to produce original works. The freedom to express oneself in unique ways exemplifies free will.
No, it doesn't.
See, this is what I'm saying though. You know what I mean?
A lot, like if you think about like creativity and art and all the rest of it, a lot of times.
But are you talking about like? Are you getting like beyond? You're getting more like fucking sort of.
I'm getting into the tearing it the whole way.
Yeah, but then that kind of.
But that's what you have to answer if you're talking about free will.
Is it though? Because.
But
that's not the confined. Like that's like a bigger sort of. I don't know. I'm trying to find out a good way to articulate.
Like if we can just say if our decisions are, I can choose to pick this up or put it down, and that's free will. But that's a very simplistic idea, and it may not be free will. And everything that's built up, like think about it, right? Your parents have sex in a place. You're born in a place. Yeah. So right at the get go, you're most likely being raised by these two people, and they have been raised by the other two people. The environment and your brain chemistry is going to be put together by biology.
Oh yeah. So out the gate, like it's influenced. Yeah,
so you're definitely painted a certain way. So and that's just that. But then you start to wonder, like, think about being a baby.
But that's more abstract. Like, so like I feel like there's two arguments. I feel like there's the argument of like you or I, can we decide what we want to do at any time? That's one argument. Like, is that free will? And then there's the bigger picture, which is what you're looking at, which is a whole different thing.
I suppose I'm taking it from the point of like
you're getting
your decision, about, like, no matter what you. I'm getting all messed up on it.
You're getting all mushrooms.
But it's like no matter what you do,
but you're influenced by you're a product of your environment, and you're more likely to make decisions based on.
Possibly. Like let's
outside
say,
stressors and stuff.
If you think about
that's part of it.
Superposition.
Yeah.
Right. So the quantum superposition. So there's a cloud of possibilities, right?
Genius.
But there's a cloud of possibilities, and until it's observed, it's all these possibilities.
Schrodinger's possibilities.
My cat's fucking dead and alive, son. What the fuck? But so like all these possibilities exist, and then when it's observed, it sort of takes one place. So is our thing the same and it is the same, it must be, where all the possibilities are there, but then when we eventually make the decision, one is selected. I think the thing, to what extent, where in your body do you decide that that's the position that you choose? And that's why I get really
this guy gives the M an answer. And he says there could be no he says that there can be no free will because you require reason to make choices, which is very well articulated. That reason is not something that you can voluntarily choose. The only way free will could possibly exist is if you could make a choice without any reason at all. So you're not reasoning your decision. That makes sense, right?
But then and you could say the opposite. Like reason might be the way that you would say it's free will, because you're using arguments.
It's a philosophical
it's like
debate.
Like think about putting an equation into a computer and it gives you an answer. If the computer was conscious of finding the answer, even though you've put in the formula, if you like, to get to the conclusion, we're aware of the formula, if you like. So it still might be that it's like an on the rails shooter. It's not open world. But we can't prove or disprove that.
Yeah, I think within the on-rails shooter you can make decisions, and that's traditionally what, like, kind of the sort of the layman, like, basic ass, do we have free will? If you want to get at that level, I think yes. But yeah, like, for example, the level of options given to you or I, even, and I'm looking at it more from a like socio-economic idea. The amount of options given to you or I are very different to like the amount of options that the amount of options of like people whose houses have just burned down in LA right now, or the amount of people who grew up in extreme poverty. Like, their decisions that one might define as like, oh, that's free will, that's how you can do it. Like, it's all...
You mean like you can become the president no matter... Yeah, but the probability or the possibility of you getting to a station versus here. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because there's so many... There's like all these factors that are influencing you without you even knowing that they're there.
100%.
And they also affect your decision making also.
Like if your ma was addicted to smack when you were you would be in utero addicted to drugs, and you would be born dependent.
Yeah.
Which is going to, obviously, you're off to a much more difficult start. But you know, you're
impoverished people's decision making is different. So their idea of free will is totally different too. Like there's a necessity with that as well, and it all.
Well, there's loads of stuff. Like I mean, even the idea, like, you know, immigrant mentality.
Yeah.
Probably more so in say coffin ship Ireland, the mentality of going to a new, like, I think very few people left Ireland assuming they would become the president of America generations down the line. But they were. And then he got shot in the fucking head.
Joe Budden is Irish as well.
Joe Budden is, JFK.
Yeah. So it's funny, actually, someone asked this. My wibbly wobbly wonder, is Tim coming to Ireland or are you going to the States this year? Well, that's basically what we're talking about. Look, like, so basically, you know, to be kind of candid, like, the crack is that if Tim wants to come over and can this year, he's got a busy year, we will basically arrange a setup. We will arrange a show if that happens. So you heard it there first. A
cloud of possibility exists, but until someone arrives somewhere, nothing is final.
So that's the crack. So basically, like they're hopefully, God willing, Brother Richard asked the big fella, tell him to sort it out. We will be making things happen hopefully this year. Hopefully this is the year, and hopefully Alison too. I would love to hang out with them. And I'd love to even show them around Ireland, hopefully, if they do.
Road trip
would be great.
That'd be fun.
So fingers crossed. Let's hope that happens. And last question is from Yasmin. I think it's Yas Lyons. Where would Rob place in a Timothée Chalamet lookalike competition? He's a lot more handsome than me. He looks like one of them lads that be selling hash on fucking college campuses.
You could play Bob Dylan maybe with a minor prosthetic work.
My head is a bit fat to play Bob Dylan. Them lads have a very, like, Timothée Chalamet is more of a, like, maybe when I was like 18 I could have pulled off a bit of a Timothée Chalamet, but Timothée Chalamet looks like a lad that does be dealing hash on college campuses, like.
He does look.
He looks like
he's a handsome hash dealer.
He is, but he's kind of one of them Kardashians now, so he's losing a bit of cred.
Which one?
The one that has babbies for Travis Scott.
Kylie.
Yeah.
The one that has babbies from the fella from Blink 182.
No, that's Travis Barker.
Right. I was like, she's about like 20 years older than him. What the fuck?
Travis. But I'm you know, hopefully I would place quite low. Like I wouldn't be in the top 5 even Timothée Chalamet.
I don't look at you and think Timothée Chalamet, but I mean,
maybe we haven't watched enough June.
Haven't watched much June.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe I should watch some June.
Timothée Chalamet.
That's Rob.
Going around Zendaya and all.
What age is he? But he's like 5
going around on
6,
sandworms.
6'5".
Yeah. Well, sure, you can't have it all, you know. Timothy.
Would you give up good 8 inches to have Chalamet?
8 inches of what now?
Huh?
8 inches of what?
You become fucking innie.
Excuse me.
1 inch.
I mean, I put about 3 inches.
yeah. Man's 11-inch dong. No, I think I just have a bit of an interchangeable head. I've got one of them heads that kind of can look like people, which is kind of funny. Create a character.
I do, like, it's not create a character because I do have quite a unique head, but for some reason people seem to interpret me differently at times, and I'm like, So yeah, I don't know. It's a blessing and a curse, you know, being this beautiful, handsome, you know, Timothée Chalamet.
There you go.
The boomer Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet, yeah. Timothée Chalamet. What happened to you, Timothée Chalamet?
Timothée Charlemagne with his moustache. Well, look, we'll leave it there. I actually enjoyed this. It was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, fun.
If people like this more than the mini-fuzz, just let us know, and then we just do these.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Because that was no notes. That was just firing, having fun.
That's kind of like a Patreon episode.
Yeah. A little bit more interactivity there with the Instagram questions coming in, which actually was quite fun. Like, that's something that, you know what I mean? If people did dig it, like, we could do them, even if they just wanted them once a month, where it's like literally just put out questions on the Instagram, kind of answer them live almost as they come in, because that was fun, just checking and going, oh, there's another question. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now. We've been going on long enough. As always, thanks for the support, thanks for the listens, comments, all of that stuff. We always appreciate it. Yeah, we will have a Patreon episode out later in the month. I've been Rob.
I've been aiming.
Monster Fuzz over and out. It's time to get them sandworms. Bye.